When you bring new apprentices into the workshop, there's only one assumption you'll see almost straight away. They think engineering is about speed, cutting fast, drilling fast, welding fast. If you look at the engineers you trust most in your business, they're not the ones rushing. They're the ones who work in a controlled, steady and deliberate way. Because the first skill every engineer needs to master is control. Before anything is done quickly, it has to be done accurately, safely and repeatably. Without control, speed is just risk. With control, speed becomes capability. Engineering is built on precision, on consistency, on doing the same thing well over and over again. Control is what reduces mistakes. It's what builds proper muscle memory. It protects tools, materials and components. It's the difference between a clean job and rework. When you see a senior engineer working, they look really fast, they look calm. Every movement has a purpose. Take welding as an example. So when somebody rushes, you see thin welds, poor penetration and lack of fusion. When travel speed is controlled, the weld becomes even, strong and consistent. And the same principle applies whether you're talking about fabrication, machining, maintenance or assembly. If you're supporting apprentices, one of the biggest mindset shifts you need to help them make is engineering isn't a race. It's a discipline. Slow becomes smooth, smooth becomes consistent, and consistency is what allows speed to develop naturally over time. Once an apprentice moves away from trying to be fast and starts focusing on being controlled, you'll see a difference straight away. Quality improves, confidence grows, and work becomes repeatable. Across engineering, the apprentices and graduates who stand out early in their careers nearly always have one thing in common. They've mastered control, not force, not speed, control. Ask any experienced fabricator, machinist, maintenance engineer, and they'll tell you the same thing. Control is a skill that unlocks every other skill. From an employer's point of view, this matters more than most people realise. Control work produces repeatable results, and repeatability is what your business relies on. It reduces rework and scrap, it extends tool life, it improves safety because rush movements create risk. Control doesn't just improve individual performance, it improves how the whole operation runs, and it goes beyond the workshop. Control shapes how engineers think, how they approach problems, and how they manage risk, and how quickly they develop long-term competence. At Qualitrain Engineering Academy, this is something we see consistently. Whether apprentices go into welding, machining, rail, fabrication or maintenance, the engineers who build strong careers are the ones with a solid foundation. And control is always at the centre of that foundation. So if you're new to engineering or you're responsible for developing apprentices in your business, this is something worth remembering. Speed will come, but it comes later. Control is what creates real engineers. And that's why it's the first thing we focus on from day one at the Academy. Master control and everything else becomes possible.